So, I'm sure that if you have been following up anything regarding Amazon or BookTube, OrderTube, any reading community, by now you should know about the Amazon Kindle policy. And in case you don't know, I have pulled it up on my computer. I'm going to read it directly from my computer so that I have word for word for you exactly what the policy is. And it says on February 26th of 2025, which is a few days ago, Amazon stopped allowing users to download Kindle books to their computer using a USB cable. This change means that users can only read their Kindle book on Kindle on their computer or wireless devices. Now, I've been reading books since I was a child. I've never owned a Kindle. As a matter of fact, I read all my Kindle books on my tablet. It is a blue that I got from my mother. I also use the Kindle e-reader on my computer, and I've also used the Kindle app on my phone. However, I don't believe in buying ebooks. I'll read ebooks online. I also do borrow books from my library. The only time I've ever bought any book is when I got any promo from Kindle, and the only book I have bought, funny enough, which was back in 2023, is A Court of Something in Roses. And that's not even on my main Kindle account, that's on a Kindle account that I no longer use. I still have the email address to it, but I don't use it. Now, everyone has been talking about how this affects readers. However, I will not be talking about this on my reader account because there's enough conversation regarding that. What I want to talk about is how this affects writers. And I'm currently writing my first fantasy novel, which I hope to be my debut novel. And the thing is, everyone keeps talking about how readers are not gonna be able to own the books that they buy, but no one is talking about the fact that authors are no longer going to have readers that actually own their book. Now, there's a whole side of the internet that does not believe in owning physical copies of book. Now, if readers are no longer going to be able to own physical copies of the book, and this is not for like big traditionally published authors because it might not affect them on the same level as indie authors. What happens when Amazon decides that they don't like your book, they don't like your readership, and they decide to remove your ebook from their platform? Also, as someone who had, like, when I was at 19, I wanted to publish a book on Amazon, so I did learn a lot about the KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing. And when you publish your book and give put it in the Kindle Unlimited program, while it is in that program, you cannot put your book on any other ebook platform. So if you're a new indie author and you decide that, hey, I'm gonna put my book on Amazon, and I'm gonna let it be a part of the KDB program, and you've built a readership, and for some reason Amazon then decides that they don't want your book on their platform, you know what's gonna happen? Readers that have bought your book will no longer have access to it. And also, I've never really been a big fan of buying ebooks, but if I know now that the ebooks that I buy, I literally won't own them. As much as I would want to support authors who are only selling ebooks, why would readers buy ebooks? So everyone is talking about how it affects readers, but it also affects authors, especially authors who use the Amazon KDP platform for their ebooks. And like I was here because I'm that's why I have my computer. I was here like working on my plotting my novel, and it came up in my feed. I watch a lot of booktubers while I work on my novel, and it came up in my feed like that's all people have been talking about how this affect readers. And I'm like to myself, but what happened if I decide to go the traditional publish route? Something happens and I decide that I want to self-publish. There is a market for ebooks. You see, if there was not a market for ebooks, then I have like 50, close to 50 ebooks that I got like when they do those free pop stuff for Kindle days. And so I've gotten a lot of ebooks from a lot of indie authors. And like I was just here just looking back, and I was like thinking to myself, and I really regret now that I have not saved any of them. And I'm just looking to myself, as someone who may or may not become an indie author. What happens if I somehow decide that Amazon is the only platform that I can reasonably put my ebook on, because there is a market for ebooks, and somehow either I'm getting too much negative reviews, or maybe my book, the genre of my book, the themes in my book does not fit Amazon supposedly stand for, don't stand for, or what if they think that my book does not align with their platform? What will they then do? Because in removing your book from their platform, you're talking about reviews. I don't know if you've ever like reviewed anything on Amazon and for some reason. Also, what happens if, as an author, Amazon decides to, for some reason, block your account? What happens if there's a lot of things that I think that a lot of people are not talking about, especially like books are written by authors. So if it affects readers, it is equally enough gonna affect writers. Because what if Amazon, for some reason, because I've had cases where Amazon has I used to work for Amazon customer service, so I know that any type of fraud and they will lock your account. And Amazon is a one platform. Like if the same account that you use to go shop on Amazon, that's you can use to sign into KDP. That's the account that you use to sign into Audible. That's the account, like Amazon has so many subsidiaries, and it's the one account. So what happened when Amazon decides that you do something and they're gonna block your account? So it's not just the fact that this affect readers, because if I now know that I'm not gonna be owning books, I'm probably not gonna buy as much ebooks as I would like to. And the thing about this, as regards to how it affects writers, is, and I do this sometimes, like if a book is offered in, I'm a minimalist, so I tend not to buy books that I won't be reading in the next in the next, like, say, 3 months. So what I will do is a lot of the books I end up do buying, I've read them on the Kindle Unlimited, and then I decided I like them, and I went ahead and I bought. I have a few books that I have read, loved, and I have in my wish list to just do one big bulk buy or wait until they go on some funny ass sale. So what happens when readers decide that they no longer want to buy books? And it's, as an indie author, or as someone who might become an indie author, because everyone, like, you see, a lot of times when big companies make these um, big gestures or big change in policy, and also as someone who used to work for Amazon in terms of their customer service, it's funny that whenever they're making these plans, they know 6 months ahead of time, and they always wait until probably, I don't know, a month or two before they release it to the public. That's also the saddest part about all of this, is that they probably knew that they were going to do this ahead of time, and they waited closer to the day, the February 26th, before the information start being pushed out to people. It's like they didn't want us to download all their books. Needless to say, if readers realize that they're not going to be owning books, and I got sidetracked for a minute. Like a lot of these decisions, they affect the smaller people. Like an author who's making like 10 for, I don't know, is making like massive sales in books. They don't have to have ebooks. There are a lot of books right now that are very popular, and the ebook is kind of really isn't the bulk of the sale is not coming from ebooks, they're coming from physical book. But if you're an author who you're not popular, no one knows you, ebook is what gives you, that it's like that commitment, non-commitment, you can always go on Amazon Kindle, you can read the book if and if even so, buying a Kindle is like, sometimes it's like 99 cents, or it's like $3 compared to if you were to buy like a physical book of $17. So sometimes readers want to support indie authors, but they don't have, like, which is funny. they don't have like the funds to support them. So instead of buying like the physical book, they'll buy the ebook, and they'll know that they'll have this book to read until God knows when. But there's just this whole fear now because a lot of people have been saying that, readers saying that they will not be buying ebooks anymore. Also, like there's this whole we're boycotting Amazon thing, and that's all good. But I believe that a lot of writers in the weeks or years to come will be. I know from TikTok, I know a lot of indie authors who Amazon KDP program is what's actually giving their book that extra boost. And if Amazon can just delete their book, that's like all their hard work on, just disappear. And I don't know, I've gone on a little rant. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think writers are affected just as much as readers with this new policy, or do you think readers are the only one affected? Let me know what are your point of views, and thank you for watching another video. Have a wonderful year, month, day, minute, hour, second. I'll see you in another one.